cultural and historical discussions, environmental issues, fun and lighthearted topics, guest interviews. Kiman, basically anything you want to talk about, we are ready to listen. Here's your guest host.
Good afternoon and welcome to Talk Today. I am your guest host, Orrett Connor, and we will have an open line at first. So if you have something that you want to talk about, tell you what. If you know someone who's celebrating a birthday today as well, give us a shout out and we will do a birthday shout out, even though it isn't on for the record. But we don't want to wait until tomorrow and hand out happy belated birthdays as well. So if you know someone, send us a message or WhatsApp number 925-3261 for the Talk Today. We'll be back shortly.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
Talk Today is also brought to you by Mike's Builders. Call 923-0706. Mike Builders. They make it happen. Talk Today is reminding you
to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990. 949-8037 or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
And now, back to Talk Today.
Good afternoon and welcome to Talk Today. Hope everyone had a enjoyable long holiday weekend as well. Those of you who may have attended the King's birthday ceremonies, hope you enjoyed it as well. Not sure whether or not the rain interfered with it on the western end of the island. Of course, there was some thunder yesterday and scattered showers as well. But if there's something that you want to relate to me about the King's birthday ceremony, certainly be happy to share that with you as well. And one more time, we want to send out a huge congratulations to our own Mr. Loxley Banks for receiving his MBE as well. Also, Miss Fran McConvey, who received the British Empire Medal, and of course, the late Mr. Morgan de Costa, as well, who received an award posthumously. So, meanwhile, I want to send a big happy birthday greeting. I haven't done so yet on the group chat because I've been busy all morning. But Miss Stephanie Foster, she's celebrating her birthday today. We want to wish Miss Stephanie a happy birthday. Such a jovial person, cares about her Cayman and her Caymanian people as well. A very caring, very given person as well. If you have her as a friend, you couldn't have a better friend. Miss Stephanie Foster celebrating her birthday today. So we want to give a big shout out to her. So folks, we are still in the hurricane. We've just started the hurricane season as well. And I'm going to share this release with you because it is extremely important. Those people at Hazard Management, Cayman, and all of the various entities that fall under its remit, they are extremely busy. They do so much to help to keep the people of the Cayman Islands safe. So the Cayman Islands government, through Hazard Management Cayman Islands, has completed its annual hurricane National Hurricane Exercise, which was held from the 16th to the 20th of June. This exercise reinforces the country's commitment to building a culture of readiness ahead of the peak of the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season. More than 115 departments and agencies represented by 18 team leaders across the Cayman Islands government were engaged throughout the week-long exercise, supporting a cross-government approach to preparedness, response, and recovery. This marked the third consecutive year of scenario-based command training delivered by the UK-based Gold, Silver, Bronze command structure specialists, which guide strategy response during major incidents. So the Director of Hazard Management, Ms. Danny Coleman, is quoted as saying, and I quote, "Each year we push ourselves to improve. This year's exercise helped us strengthen coordination, build capacity, and test complex scenarios. Under the theme, Start with the end in mind, it was emphasized that recovery begins with how we plan and act in those first hours." She goes on to say that this was not just a drill, it was an opportunity to learn, grow, and reaffirm our shared responsibilities to protect lives and livelihood. The 2025 exercise also addressed critical gaps identified in previous years with targeted improvements in process design, capacity building, and interagency coordination. A unique component of this year's training included a simulated court case led by Barrister Graham Watson following a major incident scenario. Lead facilitator Paul Dutton of GSB praised the growing expertise within the Cayman Islands government and stating, so GSB is the acronym for Gold, Silver, and Bronze, right? So Mr. Paul Dutton is quoted as saying, "The commitment to realistic training and honest evaluation is what distinguishes strong emergency management systems. It's clear the Cayman Islands is developing a high-performance emergency response structure, and that comes down to leadership, dedication, and a culture that values preparedness. The National Hurricane Exercise remains a cornerstone of the Cayman's preparedness effort. With hurricane season underway, Hazard Management Cayman Islands continues to work across government and with community partners to ensure the Cayman Islands is equipped to face any hazard with confidence and coordination." With that, we have to go to a commercial break. Please stay tuned. Talk Today will be back shortly.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
This summer, choose from 10 international destinations for your vacation with Cayman Airways. Explore New York, discover Denver, roam Los Angeles, play in Tampa, shop in Miami, tour Panama, uncover Havana, hike in La Ceiba, jam in Kingston, or relax in Montego Bay. Connecting flights are also available from the sister islands. Cayman Airways offers more international non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline, and the lowest rates for checked bags. Book today at CaymanAirways.com, download our new mobile app, or call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Come fly with us and relax with your uniquely Caymanian airline.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
The Passport and Corporate Services Office is urging the public to ensure their passports are valid and secured ahead of hurricane season, which begins Sunday, 1st of June, 2025. The public should check the validity of their passports, verify entry requirements, apply or renew passports and visas early and safely. Store important documents in waterproof containers. For more information, contact 345-649-7678 or email passportandcorporate@gov.ky.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. I'm your guest host, Orrett Connor, and we do have a couple of callers. We're going to take the landline first. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today.
Good afternoon to you, Mr. O.C.
Hey, good afternoon. How are you?
I am well, for the most part. I'm well, giving God thanks, enjoying a little time off on the day off.
Yep. Got to take it when it comes along.
Yes, and it's an overcast day, so we not got as much heat. We've been feeling that recently.
Yes.
Your opening really triggered. Well, I want to. I'm going to be speaking about something that's been on my mind for a little bit.
Okay.
Your opening triggered a slight different thought process in terms of acknowledging the King's birthday parade awardees, and certainly we don't have to speak to Mr. Banks, Mr. Loxa Banks. He often reminds me of Mr. McField. They're walking encyclopedias.
Yes.
They're full of information of our history. And in Mr. Banks' case, he keeps intimately close to information regarding our seamen and the connectedness with a lot of them. He is just an amazing man in terms of the work that he'd done at Radio Cayman. When I listened to him one time relate to how all of the trenches that they had to work through, so to speak, to really get Radio Cayman up and going and making it happen. And now we take it for granted. But thank you, Mr. Banks. Well deserved. It was good. There's a recent video going around with him having a little dance down at Tuca, and it's a public video. And it was really good to see Mr. Banks having a little shake leg. Like you're listening, Mr. Banks, and you likely are. It was just really good to see you enjoying yourself, sir. And then, the other one that's on there that maybe not many Caymanians may know, certainly if you're of school age somewhat, you would know, but Mrs. McConvey, when she came here, she was Miss Rue. She was actually my music teacher at the middle school, the British lady. She wasn't married then. And she actually used to live in Northwest Point at a place called Clan Creek. I'll never forget Mrs. Rue, Miss Rue, then Mrs. McConvey now. She was instrumental in so many plays at the middle school and really poured herself into children. She used to actually pick me up to ensure that I get to the auditions. She did that for about 4 or 5 of us that didn't have transportation.
She has given a lot to the Cayman Islands, trust me.
A lot,
yes.
And just recently
more than many.
yeah, and she was one of them that is perhaps a good example of integrating and letting go where she's from and totally embracing Cayman for all that it is. I decided at the New Year's to attend the Anglican Church to just give thanks to God for the New Year. And, I went there alone. I went to a very early morning service, and there she was playing on the organ there, and I was like, wow, look at Mrs. McConvey. Her husband actually taught religious studies at the high school, Mr. McConvey, for many, many years. And God bless you, Mrs. McConvey, well-deserved. Again, thank you for pouring your whole self into Cayman. And well-deserved, Mom, well-deserved. Mr. O.C., I just wanted to speak to you because it's been on my mind and it's been happening, and sometimes things come across your view a lot, and it hits you every time you see it. And so I feel like it's something worth sharing. We and given all of the things that we're dealing with, it seems simple, but I think it's worth sharing. We should have some sort of a regulation somewhat, and I'm one for having a free state. I dislike and abhor the whole notion of a police state and being, completely shaken down at every corner and every turn and putting sleeping polices on the road and all that. I dislike a lot of that. But this one with the balaclavas, we need to do something with putting some sort of regulation or something in place that's, for those of you, balaclavas was what we would call like those ski masks. Putting something in place that restricts walking on public roads or otherwise with balaclavas on. And they should be restricted to just your workplace. When you leave that workplace, either for lunch, for break, for otherwise, you take it off. Because it's part of the reasons why some store owners, for example, will be confused. Is this just a normal person coming to us? Because they're coming with these balaclavas on, and you don't know whether they're there for good or for bad. And, I think it should be a strict liability sort of consideration. It's sort of like the speed limits there. It doesn't matter whether you knew that it was there or not. You should be looking for it. It is, you can't wear them in public. We just need to do something with that. It's on my mind. I keep seeing this one gentleman who's walking all the time, and he actually exercises with them on. I'm kind of thinking, why are you walking with the balaclava on? Like, we get desensitized to those type of things, and it makes it difficult sometimes for store owners to know. That's why they may not immediately ring the alarm because you're just coming there for good. And
and we know also, caller, that those who have malintent in mind, that they then use the same type of camouflage as well as even the colors that the construction workers wear these days.
That's exactly what I'm saying. And here's the case. And I just, for example, drove through town, and there was at least 10 of them that I saw walking on the road. They obviously were on lunch, and we're not talking about nationalities here. We're just talking about this thing with walking with these on. And like I said, I'm totally against. I believe in freedoms, but there's something about that keeps hitting my spirit every time, and I'm like, you know what? It's worth sharing to see what other people think. I actually think we should put some restrictions on it so that once you leave work, even for lunch, you should take it off. You should not be walking, coming into stores with them on. I think it creates anxiety for shop owners nowadays, never mind banks or otherwise. Thanks for allowing me to share it, man.
Sure, no problem at all. Thank you also.
Bye.
Okay, why don't we take, do we want to take the WhatsApp caller now or take the commercial break and then take the WhatsApp caller? So WhatsApp caller, just hang in there. We're going to take a commercial break so that we don't have to interrupt you to go to a break. Please stay tuned. Talk today. We'll be back shortly.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter specialize in enhancing your skin's well-being. Whether you're seeking advanced skin care, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drporterkman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
Get ready to celebrate the sweet, spicy, and sunny side of summer at Mango Fest 2025. Join us at the National Museum on the waterfront on Saturday, July 5th from 2 to 7 p.m. for a fun-filled afternoon of mango competitions, mango cocktails, crafts, games, local food, and more. Don't miss the mango peeling and eating contest. Bring the whole family and soak up the sweet and spicy flavors of summer at Mango Fest 2025. Saturday, July 5th from 2 to 7 p.m. at the National Museum. Mango Fest is proudly presented by the Cayman Islands National Museum.
Social media, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Interact with our talk shows on YouTube. Download our official Radio Cayman app, or you can log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky. You can also add us to WhatsApp
on 925-3261.
All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. I'm your guest host, Orrett Connor. Just a few birthday shout-outs here again. Please send a blessed and glorious day to my precious daughter, Terry Ann, who otherwise known as Flo. Her birthday is today, and I want to wish her a happy birthday today. Terry Ann, also known as Flo, and I believe I have one more here as well. This person is requesting a happy birthday shout out to their granddaughter, Alaya, coming from her family, especially her mother, Ukela, Ukela, and Grandma Andrea. Her birthday, of course, is today. So happy birthday to you, Akela, as well. Let's grab our caller. I want to thank that caller for being so patient. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. O'Connor.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you? How was your weekend? Long weekend?
Yeah, well, I up in England now, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I watched it on YouTube down by the governor's house. So,
keeping in touch.
Okay.
You're keeping in touch. That's good. Keep in touch.
Yeah, it's good they had it in the early part of the morning too, when it's cool, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, because when you're dressed up like that, you don't want to be and too much hot sun.
So true.
Well, speaking about hurricane season, from our experience from Hurricane Ivan, I would like to suggest to people that are able to afford to buy a generator as soon as possible. Because as we learned from Hurricane Ivan, generators were very important.
They certainly were.
Yes, and also see if they can get at least 2 5-gallon gas drums on hand also, and if they do get generators, to put them as high as possible off the ground as you possibly can in case of flooding. And also buy some standing fans to plug into your generator in case there's some serious damage as Ivan that CUC is not able to supply any electricity. And all those stores in Cayman who are able to afford to supply generators for sale, I would suggest that they get as many generators in stock as they possibly can, because the population in Cayman now has increased a lot since Hurricane Ivan. And if the government are able to help those who may not be able to afford a generator, see if they can put something in place to help those that may not be able to afford a generator, to help them get one.
And any advice in terms of those persons who currently have generators? Because I believe that if they are not serviced or not at least run, for maybe even 5 minutes or so, that some of the components, especially those plastic components like the gas lines and stuff like that, will have a tendency to crystallize. So do you have any advice in terms of maintenance of those generators?
Well, get someone that you know that is a mechanic or knows about generators, and let them check the generator for you. And then I would suggest to people that check on their neighbors. If you have a neighbor who isn't able to afford a generator, if you're able to afford to buy one for your neighbor, it would be good if people would do that. And also when it comes to the private sector, individuals or private companies, because as we remember in Hurricane Ivan, Miss Oldie from East End, she donated $3 million, and she also donated a lot of generators also. But we don't want to wait until a long period of time after the hurricane in order for people to have generators, because we know how important it is to have a generator immediately, especially if you have children or old people staying in your homes. And also, whatever you do not use a generator inside the house.
Don't put it in your garage. Don't put it in your garage and lock the door down and run it. No, you don't want to do that.
No, because in Hurricane Ivan, a man and a woman lost their lives for doing that. Having a generator inside their home running, because people tend to do this because they're afraid of someone stealing it. But you can lose your life doing that. It's better to lose that generator than to lose your life. So that's what I call in for, Mr. Orrett Connor. Thank you.
Before you go, you still there?
Yes.
Okay. This is just to add a little levity to it. After Hurricane Ivan, there was this report, and maybe it came across as a joke. I'm not sure. I don't know if you heard it, where a person had their generator going outside, and someone replaced the generator with a lawnmower and had the lawnmower running and stole the generator. Was that a true story? I don't know if you heard it.
Yeah. Well, I don't see how you would be able to get electricity from
well, electricity would go off, but maybe it was in at night where the person really wasn't using the lights, and maybe just the refrigerator and stuff was going, so they could still hear the motor running outside because there was no need for light. But of course, when it came time for the power to come on, then of course there was none. There was a joke circulating after Hurricane Ivan about that. Not sure about the veracity of it, but I was curious whether or not you had heard that joke.
Okay, it's also good to have on hand things like in case of emergency, for example, maybe an axe, a hammer, things like that are very important to have on hand in case of emergency, in case you need those things for some important reason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it mightn't sound as though you might need what I'm going to mention. But from Hurricane Ivan, there was in some areas some serious flooding. And when it comes to old people and children, young children, in case there are some serious flooding in certain areas, because in Hurricane Ivan, we had flooding almost 5 feet in height, 4 feet in height in Georgetown alone. So these hurricane shelters that might be sheltering people or individuals in their own homes, it might not sound important, it might sound ridiculous what I'm going to say, but it would be also wise to have life vests available. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller, for that as well. Okay, I want to take this opportunity to remind people, especially those who are connected with our seafarers, that celebrate Cayman with the launch of the Seafarers Registry. Don't forget that today, the 24th of June, from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. at the Veterans and Seamen's Association Hall in Cayman Brac, that you can drop off any historical artifacts, seafaring artifacts for their exhibition. What they're looking for historical ship models. They're looking for navigation tools, also fishing and turtling gear, maps and charts, memorabilia and photographs, documents, for example, passports, registration, etc., images, photos, souvenirs from ports, gifts, clothing brought from sea as well. So the drop-off locations, yesterday it was at the Constitution Hall from 10 to 2 p.m. Tuesday, the 24th, from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m., also at Constitutional Hall. So today you can still do so. Also, Veterans and Seamen's Association Hall in Cayman Brac. Then on Wednesday, the 9th of July, the 9th of July would be the Veterans and Seafarers Association Hall in Cayman Brac as well. And don't forget, folks, that these items, they will be labeled. Your names will be put on them. You will be given a number or whatever, and you will be able to collect them afterwards. So the Celebrate Cayman, they're not keeping your items. They're just using them for the exhibit and returning them to you because they know and they realize how important it is to your family's history for you to have them as well. But the more that they can get, I'm sure that they would be happy with that. And again, to remind you that artifacts will not only enrich the exhibition, but they will also connect the community through shared maritime history and also preserve it for future generations as well. And of course, Celebrate Cayman want to thank you in advance, for doing so as well. So those of you who can participate in that, if you have old photographs or whatever, something you may have ordered from National Bellas Hess. Those of you who know National Bellas Hess. And you may still have those items. We do know that hurricanes in the past, in particular Hurricane Ivan, many people lost a lot of their prized possessions, a lot connected with their family history and everything. But those of you who do have it, please share them as well. With that, we're going to go to our 1 o'clock news. Please stay tuned. Talk Today. We'll be back shortly.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With a look at your latest headlines, I'm Jevi Ebanks. Levon Rothwell Bodden is scheduled to appear in summary court today to face multiple charges stemming from incidents in 2023 and 2024. The charges include disorderly conduct at a police station, failing to surrender to custody, failing to provide a breath sample, and failing to provide a name and address. The matters are listed for trial before Magistrate Gunn. In regional news, in a televised address on Tuesday morning, Guyana's President Ifran Ali urged voters to protect national security and to preserve diplomatic ties with the United States amid U.S. concerns about unnamed individuals in the country. Without naming anyone, Ali remarks were seen as a pointed reference to businessman and presidential candidate Azuruddin Mohammed, who is under U.S. sanctions. Ali emphasized that Guyana's safety hinges on trusted partnerships and warned against political choices driven by self-interest. In response, Mohammed rejected efforts to discredit him, calling the allegations politically motivated. The election is scheduled for the 1st of September, with nomination day set for the 14th of July. Barbados Police Commissioner Richard Boyce on Monday pledged a strong, lawful crackdown on rising gun violence after a deadly weekend shooting linked to gang activity. Mr. Boyce said 4 armed men rode through St. Michael's district, killing 1 person and injuring another in what is described as a coordinated attack on public order. He confirmed that the Barbados Police Service, with the support of the Defense Force and other agencies, will use every lawful measure to dismantle criminal networks. Warning the public against aiding suspects, Boyce urged citizens to partner with authorities to restore safety and peace. That's your latest headlines. I'm Jevi Ebanks.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter. Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Holroy Eric Lorenzo Walton, born on August 13, 1936 in Bogasan, Kimmerbrook, was not only an avid artist and seaman. Affectionately named Roy, he also made significant impacts in the construction industry, founding H&A Construction in 1972 and working on landmark projects. He was also a passionate educator, hosting free art classes for children and fostering creativity through an annual art competition at Spot Bay Primary School. Roy and his wife Anne were dedicated to preserving the heritage of the Sister Islands, designing the lighthouse statue at the Kimmerbrook and Little Caymans Seamen's Center. Roy's efforts in collecting and displaying seafaring history ensured that the stories of Caymanian seafarers would be passed down to future generations. His life's work continues to resonate with the community and beyond.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your Sister Islands.
Discover all that our Sister Islands have to offer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. I am your guest host, Orrett Connor. No guests in the studio. We may have a guest call in to talk about some things. They're unable to be in the studio, so hopefully they will be available via telephone. If not, we have lots of guests out there. Those of you whose favorite radio station, of course, is Radio Cayman. And it should be your favorite. You know why? Because you own it. It is yours. You know, all yours. And you can talk on here as long as whatever you have to say is, normally they say in the press, fit for publication. In case, as long as it's fit for broadcasting, you can have your say right here. We do have a caller. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today. Okay, may have gotten disconnected. Try calling back. Meanwhile, one of our listeners said that they agree with the caller about life vests as well. And that is... He thought that maybe some people would not agree with it, would disagree, with it as well. But there are conditions and there are places in the Cayman Islands where that would seem to be quite practical, as well, to have a life vest. Because if you have to wade through water, but you don't know the depth of that water, let's say it was waist high or something like that, a life vest would certainly help to keep you safe as well. I believe a caller has rejoined us. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Mr. O.C.
Hey, good afternoon. How are you, my friend? How was the long holiday weekend?
Oh, it was good, thankful. Mr. O.C., I want to give my support to the gentleman that calling about these people with this mask on their face. Mr. O.C., I'm not a policeman and I'm not the immigration. And I'm not a politician. But I can tell you one thing. If I was, you wouldn't be walking around with no mask on your face. See, I'd take that off right now. If I was a policeman, I'd check everyone and stop everyone and make sure and put it in the media. put the store in the media. Take that thing off of your face right now, Bobo. You saw you know what I mean, Mr. Rose.
No, I understand, quite well, and certainly concur, and I agree with the concerns that people have in relation to it. Yeah.
I mean, you can do all kind of things, and then they can still keep their mask on their face after they know what they're doing. You can come in by boat as the most wanted man too. I mean, so keep on make Caymaners keep doing the foolishness they're doing and allowing all kind of stupidity to be happening in this island. Let me tell you something. If I was a politician, that kind of thing wouldn't be happening, like I say, Mr. O.C. And if I was a policeman, I would check everyone. Stop the where it does come from and where you're going. Who are you taking off right now? Hands up, Bobo. Hands up. And if I was immigration, I got to check it too. I got to stop it because let me tell you something. You could be working illegal. You could be come by boat and come and do anything. You can do a robbery and go back and Caum mask on your face. Let me tell you something. Some of us here in Cayman has been allowing too much slack to stop on this island. They need to cut it out and cut it out right now. And I call upon the government of the Cayman Islands that make it illegal to have a mask on your face. We don't want that kind of thing happening around here. You can do all kind of things. Take it off and take it off right now. You can't walk in certain people's yard with that. You know what will happen to you, You know what I'm saying, Mr. O.C.?
Yeah.
Take the mask off and take it off right now. We calling upon the government. I am supporting Mr. Ebanks. I'm supporting Mr. Ebanks. Take the mask off and take it off right now. We want the government to do something about that, Bobo. We want the government to do something about that. We cannot blame this government. From time they had this thing going on with COVID and all this and about masks and their face, people been taking advantage of things. They've been having all kind of robberies and all kind of things taking place. They need to take that thing off their face and take it off right now. Put it in the media and make the media call upon Compass 2 and Caymanian Times. Print that and print. Is it necessary? Take it off. We don't want that kind of thing happening here on this island. That starting to look like a rogue nation. Like things is out of control on this island. Let me tell you something. Like I say, Mr. O.C., I'm not a politician, I'm not the immigration, and I'm not the police. But if I was, you couldn't wear that on your face. You couldn't wear that on your face. Strict rules. When you got your island, your paradise, you protect it. You do not allow that kind of nastiness to be happening around this place.
Okay, caller. Thank you. Well, before you go, I just want to say there's we have a tendency here in Cayman to let things fester and fester until it reaches the point where you then have to amputate because you haven't addressed the issue earlier. A classic example of that would be these electric and motorized scooters that when it was first introduced by government that they didn't require a license. I think the intention there was to make it easier for people to move around, especially those who had transportation challenges to move around. So they didn't require any licensing, they didn't require any insurance. Now we see all types and classes of those things running on the roads, interfering with traffic, becoming a traffic hazard as well, causing accidents. So what was well intended at first has now gotten out of control. And there is a call for the government, for the authorities to do something about it now, to address it. If we fail to address it, then that problem becomes worse and worse, because it then means that you end up with more of these vehicles, if you want to call them that, on our roads as well. That's another example. This, like you said, with the balaclava, the issue, we probably need to look and say those things you wear on your job site, off the job site, because of the risk that it is placing people at, businesses as well as individuals, because of those with malintent masquerading themselves in those type of clothing to either do harm or to rob people as well. We need to address these items before they get out of hand.
I agree, Miss Sosie, because we hiding your face for. We are going behind masks, so we hiding your face for. What is it? Why? Take the thing off. Take it off your face. If I was a politician, the immigration or the police, I would stop and say, listen, Bobo, come here. Don't run. Come here, Bobo.
Mm-hmm.
Take that thing off of your face. Let me see your face.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see your face. Mm-hmm. Who are you? So it could be anybody, Bobo.
Yep.
Take the thing off your face, and I'm calling upon the Cayman Island government to do something about it and make it illegal. Make it illegal. We don't want that kind of thing happening here at the island. So I'm supporting Miss Ebanks calling in. I am supporting Miss Ebanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, caller. Okay, we're going to take a commercial break, folks. When we return, the phone lines remain open. Toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. Also, 949-8037, 949-6990. WhatsApp number, 925-3261. All of you people should have those numbers on speed dial now. You shouldn't have to search for them or anything anymore. Have them on speed dial and just dial either one of them when you have something that you want to talk about. Please stay tuned. Talk today. We'll be back shortly.
This summer, choose from 10 international destinations for your vacation with Cayman Airways. Explore New York, discover Denver, roam Los Angeles, play in Tampa, shop in Miami, tour Panama, uncover Havana, hike in La Ceiba, jam in Kingston, or relax in Montego Bay. Connecting flights are also available from the sister islands. Cayman Airways offers more international non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline, and the lowest rates for checked bags. Book today at CaymanAirways.com, download our new mobile app, or call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Come fly with us and relax with your uniquely Caymanian airline.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
There's nothing more important than your health, and seeking expert healthcare with physicians you can trust is what you deserve. UHealth, the University of Miami Health System, offers peace of mind to you and your family with a first-class experience. Our patient coordinators assist with everything you need before, during, and after your stay with us. As South Florida's only academic-based health system, UHealth offers cutting-edge treatment, compassionate care, and life-changing results just a flight away. Learn more at umiamihealth.org/international.
We are now in the hurricane season, and to survive a hurricane, you need to be informed. If you have been informed by official sources that a hurricane is approaching the Cayman Islands, and you live in a low-lying area that is prone to flooding or near the beaches, which may be swept by high tides or storm waves, please seek a safe place and high ground. If the only way for you to get to a safe place is a road that is also likely to be flooded during a storm, please leave home early. Don't run the risk of being stranded. This has been a public service announcement from your community station, Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. We have two callers. We're going to take those callers. So one of our listeners wrote and said that they usually wear a shirt over theirs for two reasons. One, to prevent breathing the lead paint that they work with. And two, they work in the sun all day and they do remove their headgear during lunchtime. They go on to say that the mask is an occupational issue because doctors still need to wear masks. In some instances, they are mostly for preventative reasons. Yes. And doctors wear them, but you don't see any doctors committing any crime inside the operation room or the examination room, as well. Just a joke there. No, I get the point, but if they are being used for nefarious reasons, those screaming yellow jerseys, shirts with the head covering, or the black ones or whatever, and if they're being used to commit offenses, and as a result they're duping people into believing that there's something else, then it needs to be addressed. Two callers. Let's grab the first caller on the landline. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today.
Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon. How are you? How was the holiday weekend?
Oh, it wasn't too bad. I want to talk about Northside before I finish my conversation, okay?
Okay.
Yes, I'm not calling in regards to what you just say about the corrupt face and so forth. Yeah, these guys in there wear the stuff like in the working world, but when they're going to go into businesses, they should strip their face completely. They should strip their face completely when they're going into the stores or gas stations or wherever they may go, even when they're driving on the road, because if the cops are looking for somebody, you don't know who they're looking for, because these past 5 just now with the face all covered up, and they can't say that that's cross-dress, you know what I mean?
Mm.
But I know they're out in the hot, rolling sun, but they can do a little bit better than what they do with those face cover-up. Say on his God through OC. They can do a lot better. But anyhow, I didn't call you for that.
Okay. Talk to me.
I heard Mr. Mario Ebanks bigging you up a couple of days ago. I want to tell you that you're always big up. But sometimes we get upset because we can't have our way with the station. And I believe Graham Rankin could be one of them and many more. All right. So, yes, Radio Cayman is doing a tremendously good job. And you is setting in, and Erica Passett, I don't know how long you can do that. But all I can tell you, just keep waking up and you'll be all right.
I think because it's well intended, the good Lord is going to allow me to do it for as long as He sees fit, and I think that'll be a while. Thanks.
Yes, yeah. Just Friday morning, we were driving behind the CUC truck, and plus they had two trucks, one with the poles and one, following it. So I guess no one runs into the poles. And when I saw them driving this Friday morning up on the Lidford Pearson Highway, all I could say to myself, we got a good CUC company here on this island. Only expensive, but they do a good job, and they're not afraid to work. And you're not hearing any regular hurts on the jobs from our workers at CUC. And I just want to say that I think they're doing a tremendously good job comparing to the rest of the world.
Oh, yes. The service that we get, we complain when we get a little blackout here and there, but the service that we get in the Cayman Islands.
Yeah, but seriously, put all joke aside, CUC really, really doing their job more than they're supposed to do to a degree. That's how I put it. Even the Water Authority, they are doing a good job, because let me tell you something. When I used to live in the Florida area, certain time of the year, you can't water one plant to save your life or wash a car or anything, you understand? Got water restrictions. And I have never heard of Cayman, 68 years old, have never heard of Cayman having a water restriction. You can't water your plants. You can't take a long shower. And I love to use water. I don't mind paying my water bill. But I don't not have my electric bill, because I don't feel like I use that amount of electricity. But, the lights are on. The lights are on.
Yep.
You understand? Yeah, so I just want to say I went to Northside, I think it was Sunday evening. Oh, see how long they've been building the police station up there in Northside? Now that's not over 2 years.
No, well, remember now the police station, you're talking about after the fire, right?
Yes.
Yes, and I think that they may have stopped for a while. They may have stopped for a while. I don't know if they have restarted the repairs, but they had stopped for a while.
I know when I took some visitors up to the cave, I know it's good a year and a half or more. And I went down in the hut, killing time to pick them back up. And they were doing something there on that building.
Because there was some tarpaulin on it then, right? Blue.
I think so at that time, but they got some more work done to it. But they don't look as anything going to be ready anytime soon. And what is holding up the progress of that police station not being finished, which no one is really needed. So where the police officers are hanging out up there north side, where their office at? Do they have an office? Or they're running from East End?
I think they may be operating out of another, from another district. I'll check on it and see, but I believe that's the case.
And do you know, not one police officer was on that north side road. And if you see the cars overtaken as if they were just about to lift up off of the ground.
I saw one video of one, crossing a line of traffic,
Undespicable. And then I had one overtake me in just before we got to the hill. And he was flying. See by the time I could get out the hill, where did he stop? At the little building on the right-hand side, must be like a store, a little grocery store. I'm not sure what it is. He almost killed me to get there. Oh, unbelievable. And another thing, down in the hut is a little residential area. And I hope that I am wrong. There's a little building there, looks like a little bar up in there in the hut. You know anything about that?
No, I haven't been. I haven't. Well, I usually go, but I don't go beyond the road after you pass the police station. I usually go there to purchase stuff. There's a lady there who I'm not going to give out too much information because I don't want anybody stepping on my toes with my crab meat and stuff like that. Usually it's for my sister, but I don't go any further than that. In there, I haven't been any further.
It's okay. I had my lady up there, but I can't find her. So you buy a pound for me next time you buy it.
Okay.
I'll tell you when you come. Okay.
She's preparing some. Preparing some now. Yeah.
Yeah. Something is. It seems like a little liquor store or a little bar down there on the hot road, and that's a little residential area.
Yeah.
I'm like, how can we just put these bars in every corner on this island? How come we not got any restrictions in codes to say, you know what, this can't go here and that can't go there? They're just dropping things left, right, and center. I don't know who's in charge, and we'll never know all of it.
God's willing, I'll on Sunday I'll ride down in there just to check it out.
Yeah, and you remember me called you a couple of days ago. I had spoken to that gentleman in regards to planning and immigration working together. I want to bring this across to you. CUC and planning works together, because if you got a ride at home and you want electricity, CUC ain't getting no electricity until you bring the house up the park for the electricity. Not true? Not true?
True. So true. Yeah. Yes.
So There's nothing wrong with planning and immigration combining together and working together to make sure that everything is, running the way it should run. Because who are we drilling for? And we can't find that out yet.
Yep.
We can't find that out, and we're not going to find out no time soon until one day we can get a person walk up to our door and say, your house belongs to me. But like I said on the radio, I got two machetes home, and I got God on my side. Mm-hmm. So I hope I know how to use the machete and just keep God on my side.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Later.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good.
We have a WhatsApp caller. We're going to grab that caller because after that, we're going to have guests in the studio. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today.
Yeah, we'll see. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, you enjoyed your day yesterday?
Pretty good. Thank you. And yours?
Yeah, a couple of little concerns that I got. I need you to invite some representative from Flow to find out what's going on with us here in the island for service. I'm going to leave it right like that. Mm-hmm. It's very important. And also the issue with the elderly people, something need or some the private sector or the public, whichever one, to step up and to really, have some concern about the elderly, and not only the elderly, because you can have elderly but not disabled, and you can have, the vice versa. But the elderly people and the disabled people in the island, here many of them are being neglected. And they just need some kind of, like, if they could have some kind of transportation, and they do it. This week is for West Bay, next week is for Bontown, and take the most, the most low-keyed elderly people, which they should have. I'm for district councils all the way. And to get the people in the districts to, coordinate the people and help them to live a few more days or weeks or months longer. Just being shut in home all day. You could have the best care in the world, but still they need a little breeze out and see a different, because many of them that are shut-ins, and if you take them out, this would be a different world for them from the Cayman that they were born in, and raised up in, So I don't know. I mean, you can elaborate.
Caller. If I may, there are. Well, first of all, we have the Council of Older Persons, our Older Persons Council, and in the various districts, there are entities that do. Now, maybe some of them are not doing as much as they would want to do in terms of advertising, what they do, but there are many activities that are out there that are geared towards the elderly. So I would say to you, try to familiarize yourself with them. And what I will, promise to do as well is to get a list of those and what they offer, because I don't want it to sound as if nothing is being done for elderly people, because a lot is being done. Just recently, for instance, there was a Georgetown group that went up to Mr. Alti and Mr. Orrett McLean's farm in East End and had a fantastic day, up there and stuff like that. So there are things that are being done. What people have to do is familiarize themselves with them, and at the same time, those entities have to advertise themselves much more in terms of what they're doing. But I would say to you, get in touch with Miss Alice Mako. Get in touch with Miss Lucille, and I'm calling those names because they're part of a government entity, public entity. Mr. Herbert Crawford as well. There are things out there. We don't want it to sound as if there's nothing being done. Please.
Well, like I said, I don't hear. Like you said, they need to advertise it more. because I know it's kind of quiet in the Bordentown area, but I'll leave it at that.
Okay, thank you.
But
Thank you very much, caller.
there's a lot of things that need to be looked at on the island here, and some of it is being neglected. Is just who know you is not who you know anymore. So, yeah.
Okay, I'll get a list of those entities that do provide assistance as well and share them. Thank you very much, caller. Okay, folks, we're going to take a commercial break. We're going to have guests in the studio. Please stay tuned. Talk today. We'll be back shortly.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Subway and Oreo has changed the dessert game. Introducing the Oreo Footlong Cookie, a full 12 inches of chocolatey, creamy goodness. It's big, it's bold, and it's here for a limited time. Perfect for sharing or not. We won't judge. Want it fast? Order ahead with the Subway Cayman Islands app for quick pickup and earn loyalty points. Or get it delivered straight to your door with Bento and Let's Eat. Don't wait. Treat yourself today. The Oreo Footlong Cookie is calling your name. Subway. Eat fresh. Snack sweet.
This summer, choose from 10 international destinations for your vacation with Cayman Airways. Explore New York, discover Denver, roam Los Angeles, play in Tampa, shop in Miami, tour Panama, uncover Havana, hike in La Ceiba, jam in Kingston, or relax in Montego Bay. Connecting flights are also available from the sister islands. Cayman Airways offers more international non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline, and the lowest rates for checked bags. Book today at CaymanAirways.com, download our new mobile app, or call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Come fly with us and relax with your uniquely Caymanian airline.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Bordentown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin are the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Bordentown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
J.A. Roy Bodden, in association with Ian Randall Publishers, cordially invites you to the launch of his second volume on the study of Caymanian society, Deconstructing Development, Immigration, Society and Economy in Early 21st Century Cayman. The book launch will be held at the Sir Vassal Johnson Hall, University College of the Cayman Islands, on Saturday, the 5th of July at 6 p.m. Refreshments, book sales and signing to follow immediately after the launching ceremony. The full complement of J.A. Roy Bodden's published works will also be on sale. The first 50 attendees will receive a complimentary copy of one of the author's previously published works.
Are you feeling overwhelmed, sad, stressed out, or suicidal and need support? Call 1-800-534-6463. K-Mind, Mental Health Helpline. It's okay to ask for help. K-Mind Mental Health Helpline, available from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Friday. It's free and confidential support and guidance on your emotional and psychological health.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. So phone lines are closed off for now, but There may come a point in time when we may open up the phone lines in the event that you may have any questions or comments. Meanwhile, I would encourage you to send your questions or comments to our WhatsApp number, which is 925-3261. So we have our friends from the Health Services Authority in the studio with us this afternoon, and we're going to go around the table and have each one of them introduce themselves and tell us what they do at the Health Services Authority, starting on my left. Good afternoon, ladies. Welcome to Talk Today.
Hi, good afternoon. So my name is Natalie Kam. I am the Occupational Health and Safety Manager, as well as the organization, the Disaster Coordinator.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
No stranger, no stranger.
Thanks for having us. I'm Joanna Roserite. I'm Senior Nursing Officer for Primary Health Care and Public Health.
Okay.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having us. I'm Sherray Banks-Bailey, Pharmacy Team Lead.
Okay. And this afternoon, we're going to be talking about
Hurricane preparedness.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I shared something earlier in relation to an exercise that took place not too long ago, and it had to do with the strengthening readiness, the annual hurricane exercise, as well. So did you participate in that exercise as well? Anyone from the Health Services Authority?
Yes, our Deputy CEO participated in the exercise with asset management.
Okay, so tell us what you good people at the Health Services Authority, what you have been doing, what you will be doing, we know. And what we can tell our listening and viewing audience that the hospital, the Anthony Eden Hospital, is not a hurricane shelter. We can certainly tell them that, and we know what happened after Hurricane Ivan, and of course no one really anticipated the severity of the impact of that hurricane, and as a result there was some unforeseen circumstances and events that took place, but we're certainly much more prepared now as well. So Ms. Caum, over to you.
Thank you so much again. So definitely lessons have been learned since Hurricane Ivan, and we take those steps in strides. And I do appreciate you bringing up the point of the HSA not being a shelter. We just want to put that out there to the listening public. We are not a public shelter. However, what we are known for is providing quality healthcare services, and we'll continue to do so during and after an hurricane. Mm-hmm. So our primary responsibility is to provide urgent medical care during and after a hurricane. And we also want to remind our public that we do have designated emergency medical center, which my colleague Nurse Joanna will speak to further. As the Health Services Authority, we work in conjunction with other entities such as Hazard Management Cayman Islands. Within the Health Services Authority, we have what is called an emergency support team, which is made up of multiple agencies, including the Department of Environmental Health, Hazard Management Cayman Islands, RCIPS, and other agencies, as well as Health City and Doctors Hospital and other private entities. Because as we mentioned before, during a hurricane, we need all hands on deck, and we have learned. So having that experience, we have put contingencies in place to ensure continuity of business.
Okay, Ms. Rose-Wright, anything you want to add there, Troy?
Yes, as Natalie said, we have emergency medical centers which are prepared for a specific group during a storm. So you will hear us saying EMCs, which is a short and abbreviated version of emergency medical centers. Now, these emergency medical centers are designated buildings which are prepared to be used as medical centers during the storms, mainly schools and civic centers. And so there are two main reasons for these centers. One, to we are equipped with staff and supplies to be able to attend to any urgent or emergency situations during the storm. And also, after the storm, if the roads are impassable, then we are able to operate like a mini clinic then to be able to take care of minor injuries, other situations that may come up during the time at the shelters if persons are not able to go home or they're not able to get to a health center or to the hospital.
Okay, so can you repeat again where those EMCs are located?
Yes, sure. So the EMCs, we have 7 EMCs on Grand Cayman, and we have 2 on our sister islands, 1 in Cayman Brac and 1 in Little Cayman. So on Grand Cayman, we have the Prospect Primary School, Clifton Hunter High School, and that's the gymnasium, the East End Civic Center, the Craddock Ebanks Civic Center, which is in Northside, and then West Bay, that's Sir Johnny Cumber Primary School, so it's the school all. Now, the Boddentown Primary School over the years has always been an EMC. There are always challenges that we face with Boddentown Primary School because of the space, and we're not able to the staff, the medical staff, we're not able to be in the same space with the shelteries because of because of the space situation. So this year we will be using the Francine Gardner Hall. It's the same place
is that the new
yes,
the new unit?
Yes, and it is the same place at Boddentown Primary School. So that will be used as the EMC this year. Also, for Savannah Primary, we had that same challenge. This year, instead of Savannah Primary, we will be using the John Gray High School Gymnasium. Even though Prospect Primary School is a part of Georgetown, over the years we never have an EMC in the center of town. So it is good to know this year that we have John Gray, so persons don't have to travel from town to go up to Prospect or to go up to Clifton onto high school.
So tell us then who should go to these EMCs, and is it possible that someday we may have some sort of a permanent registry to know those persons who may need to go, and they could be designated as to which one they would go to, so that there's not any haphazard use of
the shelters. Yes. That's a great idea, Mr. O.T. As I said before, the EMCs, they are designated for medically vulnerable individuals. So, for example, persons who are dependent on oxygen or ventilators, we encourage those persons to seek out the closest EMC to you before, so you know where you'll be going. Persons with chronic condition that you may need some attention during the storm, like persons who are diabetic, persons hypertensive, persons who are pregnant and maybe at the latter stage of pregnancy, like usually 36 weeks plus. Individuals who with severe mobility limitations, and also mental health persons who are controlled on their medication. We encourage those persons, and other persons who you may think that because of your situation, you may need some medical support during a storm, so it is best not to stay home. It is important. And you spoke about a special registration. While we do not have a specific registration, because across the island we have persons who are on our home care list. So we know those persons who are homebound, and we know the ones who would want to be at the shelter. So during this time, what we have done is our nursing staff would speak to all of our persons who are homebound to find out those and their family members,
Yes.
those who would want to be at a shelter. And then we would advise them which of the shelters would be nearest to them. And so we have a list of those persons, and that is communicated to our EMS, Emergency Medical Service team, so they would know where to find these persons just before, when the shelters are open, just before the storm. Now, and if persons are not sure, they can also contact the nearest health center so that they can advise them as to what to do.
Excellent. Well, you covered part of that before. So the registration is typically coordinated by the district health centers because they know they know the clientele, who are there. They know their own clientele.
Yes, they are very familiar with them. They know them. They have been working with them for years. And those persons at home, they're more comfortable with the district staff because, for example, if they have never seen me and then I would go there and say, I would like your name and all of that because I want to know if you'd like to go to the shelter, they maybe become a little skeptic or anxious. But they are very comfortable with their staff.
Now, what about those persons who are homebound, that are confined to a bed and no mobility at all?
So we provide, those persons, we have their names, we have their telephone numbers, their next of kin, and those persons would be picked up by our EMS team and taken to the shelters. And then we provide cots, for them to be comfortable. We also encourage that if those persons will be going to the shelter, their caregivers need to go with them. And also they take pillows, comforters, those things so that they can feel comfortable out of home, but as if they are at home. And I also needed to mention that the EMC in Cayman-Brac is the Ashton Rutty Medical Wing. And in Little Cayman, it's the Public Works Building.
Okay. I think we had a question here for Jay-Z, but we'll make sure that he gets settled in the meantime. Medication, of course, extremely important. And I'll tell you this, and don't really need you to address it, but on one of my other shows, one caller called in about medication and pointed out that they were traveling, and of course they were funded through Cineco, and they were only allowed to get one dose of medication at a time. So they were going to be off island for a given period of time, and they required more than one dose, but they couldn't get it because they had to be referred to Cineco, for it. So let's, Ms. Sherray, let's talk about medication.
Thank you. So I just want to assure the listening public and our customers that at the HSA we do have an adequate and sufficient supply of medications to last throughout the hurricane period, and in the event of a major storm, we are well supplied. So they can be well assured that we have sufficient supplies on hand. I would, however, like to encourage persons to ensure that they have at least 2 weeks extra supply of their chronic and emergent medications, and that 2-week supply should not be used. So it should be put aside in a waterproof container with your hurricane supplies, set aside for the duration of the hurricane season as your emergency supply at home.
And what would be chronic medication?
For example, if you're diabetic, your insulins, if you're asthmatic, any type of injectable, any chronic healthcare, any public health medications, so hypertensive medication, diabetic medication, asthmatic patients.
Okay. Now, what do we do about persons who have to be on dialysis?
Sure.
And I'm throwing that out from left field, but I'm sure that you guys have the answer, to it as well.
Definitely. We take everybody into consideration, our dialysis patients, our chemo patients. So for the dialysis patient, there will be communication from the unit going out to them, whether they need to be rescheduled. We'll put in additional sessions, or if there is any need for any temporary relocation. So there's continuous communication between the dialysis department as well as their patients. And I'm going to encourage any patient who is on dialysis, feel free to call if you need clarification. I know right at the start of the hurricane season, the manager of the unit would have, or the nurses of the unit would have started the discussion with the patients in terms of expectations and what to anticipate in the event we are impacted by a tropical storm or hurricane. So I'm going to implore the patients to please call the dialysis unit if needs be for more clarification at 244-2769 or 244-2829.
Okay, let's repeat those numbers again for them.
The dialysis unit, the extension are 244-2769 or 244-2829. And the same thing applies for the chemotherapy department as well. So the nurse manager and the nurses will be in communication with patient receiving treatment, and plans would have already been in place for those vulnerable population.
Okay, folks, for those of you who are just joining us, we have also just been joined by the Deputy Manager for the Emergency Management Services Unit?
Emergency Medical Services.
Medical Services Unit, Mr. Jace Wilson. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome back to Talk Today. I would say back. Been here a few times. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, everyone.
Good to have you.
Afternoon to the listening public.
Okay. So tell us about your job and how you will respond during a hurricane.
So, also during a hurricane, our role, believe it or not, during is very limited because we have very little movement once we receive word from our National Weather Service that we have winds sustained up to 39 miles an hour. Mm-hmm. However, pre-storm and post-storm is where we tend to find the bulk of the workload, as mentioned before by Nurse Joanna and Miss Natalie. So we would field a lot of emergency calls, and this would be whether it's from persons within the community itself or from nurse managers themselves from the variety of different wards or units, so that we can transport persons, whether it's from their home to a designated emergency medical shelter or center, or we will take them from their home to another designated place of safety. So that is what we would normally do beforehand. That workload is quite significant. As it stands right now, we have over 100 persons within the community that are most vulnerable. And again, those are the ones that have made themselves present with, as an example, Nurse Joanna and her team, and those that have reached out to the EMS services directly. So over 100 persons, and as you can imagine, we would have to stand up additional crews, additional ambulances, so that we're able to transport them. Additionally, post-storm, we would have to do the same thing kind of in reverse, right? So if their homes are safe, if their areas that they've come from are designated to be safe that they can go back to, we would then, repatriate them back to their homes. However, if they're unsafe, then we would have to make alternate arrangements. Are you going to stay within the shelter for an extended period of time? And also one of our main priorities, as you just mentioned, or as was mentioned by Ms. Natalie, the dialysis patients. Immediately after a storm, our dialysis patients are some of our top priority, just because, again, they might have gone through whether it's a 24, 36, or even a longer duration of time. We would want to get them in for their dialysis treatment as soon as possible.
And how do you go about determining whether or not those persons are able to return to their homes? Do you have to rely on another entity within the hazard management to relay that information to you?
Yes. So post-storm, we rely heavily on the infrastructure cluster because they have the damage assessment teams, and they're made up of a variety of different departments, planning, hazard management itself, public works, NRA. So they would go out. We would give them the homes, the addresses of the persons that are currently in the shelter. Some of those locations will be the first areas that they would actually check along with the critical critical infrastructure for the island, the airport, the hospital, those locations. So once we get back word from the damage assessment teams, if we're able to transport the individuals back to their place of home, then we're able to do so.
Okay, I think we can ask another question before we go to our 2 o'clock news. Miss Sherray, what about old and expired prescriptions? What if that is the case? What advice do you give?
Right. So for persons to be able to access the hurricane supply, they have to have a current and up-to-date prescription on file. So we do encourage persons who have not seen a physician or have not accessed any medications, any refills in 3 months' time to see, in the past 3 months, to see a physician to get an updated script. And then we'll process that and you'll be able to get your hurricane supply from that. But if you haven't had any medication in the past 3 months, please see your physician for an updated script.
Okay, you must see.
Yes.
You won't dispense without that.
We're very reluctant to dispense if you haven't taken in 3 months.
And can I use my medication after the storm, depending on the length of time?
Most definitely. So at the end of the hurricane period, you're able to use your medications as a part of your regular regimen. We just ask that you monitor the expiry dates. So just pay attention to the expiry dates. Once it's within good use date, you're free to use them.
Okay, and any additional information that you would have for those healthcare workers who shoulder this responsibility with the patients that they're taking care of, whether it's in a private home or elsewhere?
Yes, so for the caregivers, just to do a review of the patient's medications and just to ensure that they have all the necessary items on hand in adequate supply at home, reach out to your pharmacist and, any questions we're free to answer. Our contact number is 244-2715. And also for medications that are kept in the refrigerator, remember to have a plan for that. So a cooler with an ice pack on hand, comes in handy so that you can store them appropriately, as well as insulin. Once it's opened, because we have a lot of patients on insulin, you're free to use it unrefrigerated for 28 days.
Okay, good information to know. Folks, the voices that you're hearing, those of Miss Natalie Kam. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Caum?
Yeah.
Miss Joanna Roserite. She's no stranger to Radio Cayman as well.
Well, thank you for that.
Also, Miss Sherray Bailey and Mr. Jace Wilson, all from the Health Services Authority. We're going to go to our headline news when we return. The conversation will continue about the health services role during our hurricane season and, of course, more specifically in the event of a hurricane as well. Please stay tuned. Talk Today. We'll be back shortly.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
With a look at your latest headlines, I'm Jevi Ebanks. The Cayman Islands government has completed its annual National Hurricane Exercise, running from the 16th through the 20th of June, as a part of its readiness efforts for the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season. Coordinated by Hazard Management Cayman Islands, the training involved over 115 departments and featured scenario-based simulations led by UK command specialists. Director Danny Coleman emphasized the exercise role in improving coordination and recovery planning. This year's session also included a mock court case and addressed key preparedness gaps. Officials say the exercise reinforced a national commitment to protecting lives and building resilience. In regional news, police in Guyana have detained 3 individuals and are searching for a 4th in connection with gunshots fired at the home of Public Works Minister Juan Edgehill over the weekend. Edgehill confirmed that his wife was in the yard during the incident but was unharmed. Authorities say the shots were fired from a black Mercedes-Benz by a male suspect, and they recovered over 15 spent shells. The shooting followed a social event nearby attended by students, including a 15-year-old girl who was seen with the suspect but has declined to name him. Investigations are ongoing. In other regional news, Trinidad and Tobago police have arrested a 33-year-old Dominican national after an AR-15 rifle and 100 rounds of ammunition were discovered hidden in a baby's crib. The Sunday raid conducted by the gang unit and the Arima intelligence team revealed the weapon concealed beneath a crib mattress during an intelligence-led operation. Officers say the woman who was in the house with a baby at the time displayed suspicious behavior before the discovery. She remains in custody as investigations continue. That is your latest headlines. I'm Jevi Ebanks.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or belly fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Hungry? Need Subway any time of the day?
Yeah.
We've got you covered. Subway at Anderson Square, Centennial Towers, and Countryside Shopping Village is open 24/7, serving up fresh, delicious subs anytime you need them. And for your weekend cravings, West Shore Center is also open 24 hours on Friday nights and until 1 a.m. on Saturdays, because it's never too late for a great meal. Skip the line and order ahead with the Subway Cayman Islands app, or get your favorites delivered straight to your door with bento and Let's Eat. Fresh, fast, and always here when you need us. Subway. Eat fresh.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
This summer, choose from 10 international destinations for your vacation with Cayman Airways. Explore New York, discover Denver, roam Los Angeles, play in Tampa, shop in Miami, tour Panama, uncover Havana, hike in La Ceiba, jam in Kingston, or relax in Montego Bay. Connecting flights are also available from the sister islands. Cayman Airways offers more international non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline, and the lowest rates for checked bags. Book today at CaymanAirways.com, download our new mobile app, or call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Come fly with us and relax with your uniquely Caymanian airline.
Freedom, Cayman Rack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. For those of you who are just joining us, we have members from the Health Services Authority. We're talking about hurricane preparedness. Of course, we are into the hurricane season now, started on the 1st of June. And we're talking about the Health Services role during a hurricane, not only during, but before and during and after as well. That conversation is taking place with Miss Natalie Kam, who is the Occupational Health and Safety Manager, as well as the Disaster Coordinator at the Health Services Authority, Miss Joanna Roserite, who's the Senior nursing officer at the Public Health Primary Healthcare Services, Miss Sherray, Banks Bailey, who's the team lead pharmacist at the Health Services Authority, and Mr. Jace Wilson, who's the EMS Deputy Manager. If you want to call in, our toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255, 949-8037, 949-6990, WhatsApp number 925-3261. Please restrict your questions or comments to the topic that we're talking about, which has to do with hurricane preparedness as well. Has a caller called in yet? No one has called in, so we will continue talking. The last thing we're talking about had to do with medications, and we're going to continue along those lines as well. There are some medications that need to be refrigerated. Can you give us some advice in terms of what we should do in that instance? You may be going to a place where there may not be any facility, or you may be at home and the power has gone out. How do you manage those situations? How can you prepare yourself for that?
Yes, excellent question. Thank you. So if you're at home, we advise that you have a cold storage container lunch kit and an ice pack that you can use to store these refrigerated items for the duration of the storm. However, some of these medications, such as your eye drops, your insulins, once you have begun using them, they are able to be maintained unrefrigerated for 28 days. So once you've started using them, you can continue to use them outside of the fridge for 28 days. Now, I'm glad you mentioned if you're going to the shelter, we strongly advise for you to take all your medication and supplies with you when you're going to the shelters.
And why is it so important for you to have your medical documents ready in the event of a storm? Why?
Sure. So it's great to have all medical records relevant to you. And we also have at the HSA patient portal. So it is ideal that all our patients access this platform. And if you have not done so already, please reach out to our information desk at the atrium and get registered for the patient portal. Because the accessibility of it is on hand, it's readily available when you need it. Additionally, it provides your medical history. So you may be going to a new physician, a new practitioner, not aware of your medical condition. You yourself may not be aware of some of the medications that you are having. So you'll have a comprehensive list of all the conditions that you have seen doctor for, all radiology studies that you have seen or done before, all lab results. You are accessible to that on the patient portal. So we're imploring our patients to download this portal. You haven't already done so, come in and we are happy to do it for you.
Okay, and those expectant mothers, any advice for them?
Definitely. This is the time we're asking moms to have this conversation with your obstetrician gynecologist, your OBGYN. Start having the conversation with them. Let them know, they will start having a discussion in terms of what you should do. And Nurse Joanna mentioned about the EMCs. That is the ideal place for you to be. If you're starting to have any early sign of contraction or anything like that, definitely come into the hospital. But have this conversation with your OBGYN before. Don't just come in, start having the discussion with them, and so you can be allocated to the area that can help you best, whether it's EMC or whether it's a hospital.
And if it so happens that during a storm, a person starts to experience contractions and starting to go into labor, it may be possible that if they're at a particular shelter, there will be someone there who, can address the situation.
Correct.
But let's talk about that, Jace.
So if persons are at an EMC, emergency medical shelter, or center rather, and they start to experience those types of symptoms, whether they're going into labor, as mentioned earlier by Nurse Joanna, we do have medical staff members at the emergency medical shelters or centers. Additionally to that, even if someone was sheltering outside of an EMC, every shelter is manned by a member of the Cayman Islands Regiment who are all trained in first aid CPR. Every shelter is manned by someone from the Cayman Islands Red Cross. Again, they're all trained to CPR first aid standards and levels. So we do have an element of medical. Sometimes it's very minimum, but an element of medical at majority of the shelters we have on island. But we do strongly encourage persons to go to the emergency medical center.
Okay, and we did speak, about dialysis earlier as well, and I'm going to expand the question a little bit. I know after Hurricane Ivan, for instance, because of the extensive damage, one of the urgent issues was trying to get our dialysis patients off island, and it was really due to the good relationship that we had with the United States that we were able to have our patients go there, even some without any form of identification, travel documents or whatever, because it was a humanitarian situation. We know that since then that we certainly have expanded and a more robust dialysis center at the Health Services Authority. Let's talk about that and promote that as well. How far we have come between 2004 and 2025, 21 years.
Right, definitely. And we have, again, lessons learned, and we have taken those lessons and improve on them. So as you mentioned, we do have a robust dialysis department, and we are very happy for that. We are mindful of the staff who continue to commit themselves. So we say kudos to the team in the dialysis department for all that they do. So if we are under a tropical storm or hurricane threat, we definitely will dialyze our patient. There will be change in schedule, but not only that. Earlier in the conversation, I did mention that we are part of the emergency support team. So since Hurricane Ivan, not only the HSA, but there are other entities on island that provide dialysis services. And because we are working as one team at this time, we can refer our patients to those other entities. So we're grateful for that services.
So the clusters that you have in terms of for medical and healthcare, other than government entities, there are private entities that are represented there as well?
So in that cluster is represented by Jace. He's our human cluster.
Okay.
But in that, the hospital command center would be activated, and under that, we have private entities who report to us.
Okay.
And that command center, that EST, the emergency support team, it is chaired by our own CEO, Miss Lizette Yearwood. So all the communication from all the private entities and all the other entities who are part of the emergency support team would feed that information up to her, and then we pass it on to Azad management through Jace, through the human concern cluster.
Okay. Mental health has really what should I say, presented itself in the Cayman Islands.
It has.
As we think that we are progressing and, we're making headways, everybody's living a better life, more and more pressures, more mental health issues as well. Yes, we have the Ponciana Center, but we know the challenges that's facing. We did have the Minister for Health on For the Record last week. She came in and spoke about it. And obviously, they're looking to make that fully functional, operational, as well. What do we have in place now as far as support for mental health, those persons with mental health challenges?
Yes, I'm going to ask Nurse Joanna.
Natalie will continue after me. But
okay.
As mentioned before, one of the things at the EMCs, that in the past, we would not have mental health support. But I think for the past 5 years, among the staff cadre, we also have mental health support. Whether they are mental health officers, they are psychiatrists or psychologists, we have someone there who is able to give support. And not just only to persons who are known with mental health challenges, but just facing a storm, persons can become so anxious, especially persons who have gone through a hurricane like Ivan before. Just the thought of going through another storm make them very anxious. So we ensure that we have mental health support for these persons.
I think it's Caum that comes to...
That is correct.
Yes.
That is correct.
Yeah.
So just to jump on what Nurse Joanna just mentioned, even though we have dedicated medical staff members in the EMCs, as mentioned, we also have persons who are trained to assist in that situation. We've now expanded that beyond the medical EMCs, and they're now in every single shelter that we have.
Wow.
So the Red Cross has done a lot of legwork, and majority of their staff members, or their volunteers rather, they're trained in psychological first aid, where they're able to at least identify some of these subtle cues, some of these subtle hints. As Nurse Joanna said, it might not be someone that is known to the medical system itself. It might be someone, literally, you've just now experienced a very horrific incident, going through a storm or something of that sort, and then it's starting to trigger something. They can deal with it at their level, and they also have the ability to call into a mental health professional that is at an EMC, that is maybe at the hospital. So they also have that ability to reach back or reach into the medical institution for additional help, additional support, so that we can actually deal with that individual who might be going through some level of uneasement in one of the shelters.
Right.
So, Jace, the introduction of house numbering in the Cayman Islands, a huge milestone, for us here in the Cayman Islands. I have no doubt that if you ask some people, they still can't tell you what their house number is.
This is correct. This is correct.
But how important is the house numbering system and knowing your house number?
It is very important, Ms. Osi. That's a very good point. It is very important for us, especially from not only EMS, but from the emergency entities, whether it's police, whether it's fire and rescue services, EMS. And then so to a certain point, we also have the Cayman Islands Regiment that supports all three entities, really. So to have those numbers posted, it's something that we strongly encourage. If you don't know what your house number is, we encourage you to reach out to the Lands and Survey Department or the Planning Department. They will be able to provide you with that level of information. If you do have the numbers posted on your home, rather than having it posted only at the residence itself, say for example, if your house is a bit set back off the main road, have something that's closer to the road where we can visually see that we have a visual cue as to where your home or where your house is located, especially after a storm, right? I mean, you can think of all the vegetation, the trees blowing down. When we're responding to an emergency call, seconds matter. So we want to be able to respond in a timely manner to residents. So it's very important, as you said, and we encourage all persons to have those numbers affixed to their homes. If they know it, if they don't know it, reach back to Lands and Survey or to the Planning Department, and they will also be able to provide you what your physical number for your home address is going to be.
Okay. Earlier in the show, we had one of our regular callers. He was actually calling from the United Kingdom.
Oh.
And he was giving some advice about generators. He also had some advice about life vests as well. And he thought that maybe some persons would dismiss the idea of having life vests. But we know that there are some areas in Cayman that are prone to flooding. Correct. Or you may be in a coastal part of the Cayman Islands where you end up with seawater.
Correct.
And it's not unusual for you to be dragged out by the swells. Correct. As well. Any safety tips for generator use?
So I'm not sure what the caller said initially. However, when it relates to generators, please ensure that your generator is actually kept away from the building. In no way, shape, or form, when that generator is on, is it to be near or even inside the building. We know of some of the unfortunate incidents that happened after Hurricane Ivan, right? So we want to ensure that the generators are kept a safe distance away from the house, obviously, so that no carbon monoxide itself can infiltrate into whether it's the AC vent or even come directly into the house itself. So generators far away from the residents. Now, we know some persons, they have a bit of a fear because after Hurricane Ivan, some of those generators actually went walkabout. Right?
I was referring to callers that, but he didn't remember the story about the generator being replaced by a lawnmower.
Correct. Yeah, some of the generators went walkabout. So if you can, again, ahead of time, identify a location maybe on your property where the generator is going to be kept, and then if you can have something, to chain it or affix it to a one solid location. In addition to generator safety, please ensure that you have a supplied fire extinguisher at your residence, because if you have a generator, more than not, you're going to try to refuel that generator at some point in time, unless you have one of the larger commercial ones. So please ensure that we also have a fire extinguisher present, so that if for whatever reason a fire or something happens, you're able to extinguish that.
Would you advise turning the generator off when refueling, as opposed to
correct? That's one of the main points as well. So whenever you're refueling the generator system is to be off. Not only off, but also allow for the generator to cool down, because we know the muffler, the exhaust can be quite hot as well. So not only just turn the generator off, but also allow it to cool down for between 30-40 minutes. Then you can go ahead and refuel the generator. Then we can go ahead and start the unit back up.
Okay, and we did have members, your colleagues from the blood bank, in the studio with me. I think might have been last week as well, and I had a very good conversation in relation to blood donation and the blood bank as well. How necessary is it to ensure that you're fully stocked as far as blood is concerned?
Right. It is critical that we have sufficient supply of blood, especially post-storm, because we don't know how long, depending on the magnitude or the damage. So we are asking persons to take the time now to think about it, be a donor if you haven't already done so. And I know, yes, my colleagues were here sometime last week and they stressed the need for blood, so I don't need to overemphasize it. But definitely we consider to be a donor, especially some bloods, they're just they're perishable and they cannot be stored indefinitely. For example, O negative and O positive. So if you are within this category, we take all groups. We don't put anybody off. So think about it, and now would be an ideal time to be a donor.
And the restriction that was previously on there, that restriction has been removed now in terms of some category of persons who were unable to donate blood.
Right. I heard they talking about it in terms of those who had tattoos, and as well as those who are on certain medications. So they spoke in detail about that. So definitely. And if you are any concerns, please go ahead and still call us at the HSA at 949-8600, and we can more than happy to answer any questions. If you're not sure if you could be a donor, we are happy to let you know.
Okay. We still have about 5 minutes left, and I want to give each of you an opportunity for some closing comments in relation to the area that falls under your responsibility. So we will start with Ms. Banks-Bailey.
Thank you.
Pharmacist.
Thank you. I just want to emphasize the importance of having your emergency hurricane medicine supplies in your emergency kit, as well as your list of medications, because if you have to be evacuated or need some care, the physician may not have seen you before, as Nurse Joanna had mentioned earlier, and so they would need that accurate and recent list of medications, as well as, your passport and other documents.
Okay, Mr. Wilson.
One of the things that we're advocating for persons in the community is just to be prepared. Ensure that you have a personal preparedness plan. If you're going to be seeking shelter at an emergency medical center or another designated place of safe refuge, please call in. If you're going to be utilizing EMS services, please call in ahead of time so we can ensure that we have your name, your location down so we can transport you in a timely manner. And one of the things we want to let persons know, when we start to experience tropical storm force winds, unfortunately, no emergency services will be responding during that period of time until the all clear has been given. So we want to urge persons, if for whatever reason we think that there might be a medical need, please seek shelter at one of our EMCs. seek shelter at a designated place of safe refuge where potentially if you need medical attention, it can be given to you in the most expeditious time frame.
Okay, Nurse Rose-Wright.
Yes, thank you. Preparation is key. And if you decide to go to a shelter, remember to inform your family members, because especially if they're overseas, they would want to know that you are okay. And if you're going to the shelter and you are on any medication, remember you need to take your medication, you need to take your bedding. The caregivers need to go with those homebound patients. You need to take your food also. And another thing, please do not be hesitant about going to the EMCs. We have capable persons, we have physicians, we have various categories of nursing staff, including midwives, and we are well equipped with our supplies to take care of you in the event there is an emergency or urgent situation.
Okay, and Ms. Caum.
All right, great. So just want to remind our listening audience to check your passport at this time. Make sure it's up to date. Make sure that all your travel documents are updated, your visa, whatever it may need from you. Just at this point, you should be checking them and making all necessary preparation. Take the time to download our patient portal, have access to that, have your information on hand. Also, regarding pregnant moms, we did mention it, having the discussion with your OBGYN. If you're at home, you decide to ride out the storm at home and you're having contraction, still go ahead and call 911, and we are more than happy to assist you from there. Just want to remind our listening audience that at the Health Services Authority, we remain committed to caring for you, and we're always here for you. And if you have any questions, any at all, regarding pharmacy, EMS, public health, or EMCs, reach out to us at 989-8600. That's 949-8600. I call the number so often, I can't imagine forgetting it.
Okay. Now, in the event, let's go back to pharmacy for a second. In the event that there's a last-minute rush for medication, any advice that you want to give to people in that regard?
Yes, I really want to assure the listening public that we have sufficient supplies of medication during and after the storm, and we will be open as soon as we receive the all clear. So we are really trying to encourage persons to avoid coming out and rushing at that last minute when a storm is announced. Try to have your 2-week supply at the beginning of the hurricane season and keep it in your kit until the season is over. Let's not rush at when a storm is announced, because we do have adequate supply. Only those who are absolutely in need of crucial medications, come out, we will serve you, we will work with you, and call us. If you have any questions, just call us. We'll be happy to help you come up with your medication preparedness plan for the hurricane. But we do have enough supply of medications.
Great. And Jace, it's not too late for people to put up that house number if they don't have it.
It's not too late.
Yes, it helps you to navigate as well. Just want to pass on to our listening and viewing audience that I have been advised that due to the overwhelming interest in the Seafarers Registry launch, the event has been moved across the road to Constitution Hall. I think it was going to be at the library, public library, Georgetown Library. So they will be sending out a bulletin, but they want to get this information out in advance to give you all a heads up in relation to it as well. So, because of overwhelming interest, Seafarers Registry launch will now take place at Constitution Hall, also formerly the Georgetown Town Hall, as opposed to the library as well. Folks from the HSA, I want to thank you and all of your colleagues for what you continue to do to keep the people of the Cayman Islands healthy, and if they're not healthy, to try to get them back to health. As well. Sometimes it becomes a thankless job. People will complain, I had to wait too long. I tried to call and no one picked up the phone. But we knew that you're in this profession simply because of your commitment. You know, you wouldn't be there otherwise, you know, because of your commitment. And I want to thank you and all of your colleagues as well for all that you do to help to keep the Cayman Islands healthy as well as safe as well. I want to thank all of our listeners out there. I want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters keepers, especially during hurricane season. There's always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are. I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join me tomorrow morning at 7:30 for the record. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to continue to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
Talk Today is also brought to you by Mike's Builders. Call 923-0706. Mike Builders. They make it happen.